It was everybody. I'm not gonna look directly at the camera because I'm not really in the best mood right now, and I don't really feel like. Maybe I'll just take my glasses off. Maybe that'll help. I'm supposed to be doing my math homework right now because I'm actually literally in math class right now. But, I just said something to myself. I just thought, nothing seems to be enough anymore. And I feel like I'm being dramatic, and that's the only time I'm gonna say that in this video because I say that too much. But I really do feel that way. But what I mean by nothing is enough anymore, it's just like all the things that I thought would make me happy, I'm not sure they will. Or I'm not sure that they'll improve my life because of how I'm living, It's weird because I think about how the fact that I'm in my closet taking classes online, and it's like I'm lucky that I even get to do that. I'm lucky that I'm not in the hospital or that I'm dead. And that I have a computer and a laptop, as slow as it might be to use, and I have a mother who's alive and here for me. It's like I even was saying I just wish I had somebody I could relate with, somebody who was right next to me. And it was the same age as me, and I know my mom is there for me, and I'm not trying to ignore the people who are there for me. I just wish I had somebody who was going through the same thing with me, the exact same thing. And I think that since I've had a twin all my life, I always did have that person who was going through the same thing with me. And now she's not here anymore. She's not dead. She just moved out because she didn't want to live with my mom. She's not rich or something. And it's just I have conflicting views about COVID and I don't know. It's just some people think what's the point of wearing a mask if nobody if there's already a bunch of people out there who suck at it, and what's the point of being so safe if everybody's dim wads? But it's you need to protect yourself. Who cares what other people are doing? And it's so hard for me to even remember that. Just with simple things I always compare myself to others, and I try to think that I don't, but I just say I don't compare myself to others in looks, but I do, but not, I guess, to the scale that I used to. But I compare myself to others in all kinds of other aspects. I compare myself to people who have jobs. I compare myself to other teenagers who are like me, to other Black people, and to other people who are bisexual like me, whatever. That's what I've been doing my whole life, and it's just so awful to do that because it's why can't I just be me without thinking that I have to fit the mold of what the label I have should be. I don't have to be conventional. I don't have to be unconventional. I just have to just be me. And when I say nothing is enough, I mean weight loss and gaining height and moving to New York. It's not enough to make me happy anymore. And it's maybe because I'm looking to outer sources for happiness, and I should be looking within. Because nobody is going to help me get through this except myself. A lot of people have made it pretty clear that I'm on their low priorities list. And that's okay because I'm on my high priorities list. I need to put myself there because those people don't matter. Yes, I'm not saying I'm being bullied or there's a bunch of people ignoring me. Obviously, I'm lucky to have the people I have in my life, like my best friend and my sister still, even though she's not here. I just don't really think anybody around me knows exactly what I'm going through. Obviously, except my mother, but I mean on a being my age because it's still different. And obviously, I feel awful for her, and I think she's having a way worse time than I am. So that's what I mean. She doesn't relate because she's going through way worse things than me, and so it doesn't. I don't know. It's sometimes I'm happy. I can smile and make jokes, but it's just like, it's getting so much harder to do that. I find my conversations being like stale and dry because I'm genuinely just not happy. Like, I don't want to talk about stuff. I just don't. And I actually don't like this because I remember someone's like, why would you film yourself crying? That's gross. It's like, maybe I just want to look back on it when I get older and I'm better. I don't know. Like, yeah, make everybody feel bad for doing things. Like, just judge everybody else. Maybe look at yourself. But now I feel bad for crying on camera. Like, I feel like I'm trying to exploit my tears or something. But I'm just trying to show my emotion. And maybe I am showing it off to people. Maybe I am doing it so people feel bad for me. I don't know. Because I could make this video unlisted. I could easily do that, or private, and I could look at it later. But I'm gonna make it public, so it's like, yeah, maybe I am getting attention. Yeah, okay, cool. Nobody's gonna, like, the mental breakdown video, or I said a breakdown because I didn't want to call it a mental breakdown because I feel like that's a symptom of, like, a disorder, and I do not have any kind of disorder that I know of, so I wouldn't want to say that. Like, I feel like it's a bit not factual, but I think people can have breakdowns. Like, maybe mental breakdown doesn't always have to necessarily be a symptom of something, but I just feel like that's such a buzzword to use, so I didn't. And even now, I need to find I find myself still using the phrase psychopath and stuff like that. And it's like, Indigo, that's not right to use. Like, you know, it's like I need to stop being so open, like about. I mean, I can talk about how I'm feeling. That's why I'm trying to stay vague because I'm not gonna like name people and go through every single little thing. It's just I don't have enough money to keep at the therapist I have now, and what we talk about is like life coachy things, not day-to-day things. But last time we did, so maybe this time we'll actually, the next time I see her, she keeps trying to want to make it so far away in the future. I'm like, why? Do you really not like me that much? No, I'm just kidding. I just don't know what will be enough for me to be happy. Like, I really don't. Like, all these things that I'm getting now would have made me so ecstatic when I was younger, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm pretty lucky that I get the opportunity to move to the state I've always wanted to move to. Although the circumstances aren't the best, If I lived in Arizona for the rest of my life, for COVID to never happen, obviously, I would agree, Because as much as I love New York, it's not worth this. It's not worth this at all. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of hearing about it, but it's all around. I don't want to get it because I'm afraid of what could happen, the after effects. Just because nothing will probably happen to me doesn't mean that I just, be willy-nilly and get it. Luckily, I can pause this thing, so that's good. I'm better now. That was like 2 seconds of me blowing my nose. And I say I'm better now. I just mean like, I just don't get excited for anything anymore. Like, I'm not excited to move to New York. I really was excited to move to New York and live there. And now I'm not. It's like, yay, I really overstayed my welcome here. Because I'm going to be moving away from the people that I love, and I'm not going to have anybody to hang out with, and it's like, what am I even going to do? COVID is literally here, so who would I even hang out with if that were happening? And I see all these people hanging out with people on Instagram and whatever. I didn't delete the app because of that, because I deleted it. But it's just like, ugh. I don't want to have a huge group of friends. But then when I see that, I'm like, ugh, it's like the same thing. I don't want a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but then I see it and I'm like, so it's just like, ugh, like, no. Just giving me desires I don't even want. There's not one fix that's going to make my life better. There's little things that I can do to improve my life. But it's just like, there's what's the value if this is how it is now, and adulthood is supposed to be as bad as every single freaking adult tells you. Is this only going to go down from here? Like, is it? And maybe I shouldn't speak that into the world, but it's like, that's like, what else is going to happen? It's just the start of my adulthood. I'm 18 years old, and it's like, obviously the world isn't all miserable and blah blah blah, but like I don't know. Because I see people who are still unhappy at like older ages, and it's just like, ugh. I compare myself. I'm like, that's gonna be me. That might be me. That could be me. I could be unhappy and sad, and I see people who are happy, and I'm like, that's never gonna be me. So it's like I compare myself to the negative aspects of some people. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just tired of myself, like my voice, my insecurities, my personality. I'm just tired of all of it sometimes. Sorry, my teacher was telling us to leave the class or whatever, but not in a mean way. He was just saying it's over, but I don't know. Oh my God, it's like not that bad, but it's like also really bad, like in my head. There's this I don't know, because I get caught up on like certain things. Like, okay, so I was reading this manga that I should stop reading because I read it like probably once a year or like once every 6 months, but there's no time limit. I just do it. Um, and it's called In These Clothes Called Fat, or like these. I don't know. It's something like that. And it's by this really talented like manga artist. And I read it a while ago because I don't know, I'm always trying to find like unconventional mangas. I don't know, it's just interesting. I don't read them all the time, but yeah, because there's not that many unconventional ones. Um, and it was about this girl. It's just so sad. Like, I actually should talk about this in a different video, actually, but I'll just gloss over it. It's about this girl who's overweight, and like everybody at her work, it just like kind of torments her, and she torments herself, and her boyfriend is kind of like, okay, I'm gonna spoil it. Her boyfriend's awful, and he's just a piece of S word. And it's like I actually like the case study that's kind of done on him, like how he wants to be able to control the woman in his life because he can't control his mother. I think that's pretty interesting. It was a little heavy-handed, I will say, but this isn't a little bit of this. I guess this is an analysis of it. It's just like I always read that, and it's just like, oh, like that's how much somebody can be pushed. Like it's like people will never understand how hard it is to be overweight sometimes when there's a society like that around. Like I want to lose weight, yes, and I don't promote obesity, obviously, but it's like we have to look at that toxic side too of those people who like just hate overweight people and hate people who are different from them and judge them and insult them, and things happen. Obviously, I think this manga was maybe a little exaggerated, but I wouldn't be surprised if this stuff happened in real life. I really wouldn't be. But long story short, she becomes bulimic because she starts throwing up because she can't stop binge eating. Now, I will say it's a bit, I think maybe this was the actual opposite experience, but I think it's a little bit inaccurate to say that throwing, because like you only lose 25% of your calories. Don't ask how I know that when you throw up after eating. So I'm like, because this girl, she was like obese, I think. Like, how was she able to lose all that weight, even though she was still binge eating? Like, I don't get it. So I was thinking that maybe, no. It seemed like in the story she was eating 3 meals and they were big and healthy maybe, but she was throwing them up. But I'm not sure. But she looked awful. Like she became like, it's almost kind of anorexic, but obviously she wasn't anorexic because she was still eating. But like her bones, and it was always supposed to be an exaggeration of contortion of like being that unhealthy. And then she was even learning like this. The moral of the story is like it wasn't worth it. She lost the person she loved, even though he was a jerk, and I'm glad. And I think she went back to being overweight. I'm not sure. I think she did because she was just like, this is what's meant for me or something. I don't know. Because no one really seemed to like her when she was no one seemed to like her in general. I think that's what she learned. Like, it's not her, it's the people around her. But it was also not a good it wasn't a good ending. It was sad still. And it's just like, I don't know why I read that story. It just makes me sad. It makes me think about my own weight loss. And it gives me mixed messages because, like, you should lose weight, but no, you don't. You shouldn't because it's pointless. I want to lose weight for my health and to be skinny. Okay, come on. Like, let's not lie here. But it's like, I actually do want to be healthy because I actually don't like how I used to eat, you know? And and I have a bad relationship with food. And if I just let myself eat all willy nilly, it would not be good for me, you know? So I need to focus on that. I don't know. Okay, now I'm getting a lot of texts, so that might sound like I have a lot of friends. But I think it's just my sister and my best friend talking in a group chat or something. I have no idea, but I'm gonna check in a minute because it's getting annoying. Um. Anyways, yeah, I started this video out kind of sad, down bad. I just kind of get these thoughts in my head, and it's just really annoying. It really is because I just want to be effortlessly happy, and I know nobody's like that. Everybody seems like they are, but nobody is. There's always problems. I just wish my problems were, in my mind at least, smaller than they seem. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I just want to be good at one thing, something. Singing, basketball, something. You can say all you want. You want to be good at something, but you never do it, you know? I'm good at writing, but that's not something you can show off that well, so I want to be good at something you can show off. You can show it off, you know? It depends. And I can never gauge how good I am at it. Like, I feel like with basketball, you can kind of gauge how good you are at it, you know, because you can compare yourself to other players, but not in a bad way. Like with writing, it's so complicated. I'm not trying to say like, oh my god, basketball's simple, writing not. No, basketball's very complicated. Obviously, I don't even understand the whole game. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's easy to kind of know what you need to do from there. While writing, there's so many different facets and so many rules you can break and stuff. With basketball, you probably should be breaking rules. But yeah, like, you know, one of those day in a life routines, like where it's like, I'm a ballet person or I'm a chef, which I recently watched the chef one and I just was like, because now culinary is like track to me. Like in the past, okay, so I was in track from 7th grade and 8th grade. And so after I quit track, well, I didn't quit. I just didn't go in freshman year. I didn't join because I was like, oh, I'm fat, so I can't do it, which I shouldn't have done that. I was afraid of being humiliated or something, or whatever. Like, what did I think was going to happen? Like, I wouldn't be able to keep up. Like, no, I'm pretty fat. Like, I just don't know what I was so scared of. I just didn't want to be, I didn't want to feel insecure. And it's just like, I'm so scared of change. Like, I'm so scared of doing things that are not change, but doing things that are challenging. I like change, but I'm scared of doing things that are challenging. I'm scared of trying to challenge my beliefs and challenge, you know, like I'm scared of the ACT because that's challenging. And I'm doing that for a class. I'm scared of other things because they're challenging. I've always been like that. And so I just try to hide away, you know. But anyways, so whenever I saw, like, maybe I saw somebody who was like a track star or like in a TV show or in a movie, or I heard about it on YouTube or something, I would always be like, I don't know, I wouldn't cringe. I would just feel like this internal like doubt and like self-hatred kind of. Not, it's not that extreme, but now when I see chef stuff, I feel that way. Like when I see track stuff, I don't feel that way exactly anymore because I'm like, I already lost my opportunity, and like senior year, like I'm not going to be in track, it's fine. But like now I still have the opportunity to be a chef or whatever, even though I don't want to be, which is funny. I don't want to be a chef. I don't like the industry, in my opinion. It's not for me. But I still see, like, I saw this video of this chef, and I was like, oh my God. I felt like that internal self-hatred and like regret. It's like when you see somebody who's successful in a field that you were going to go into, or even when you are into, it's just sad. It's just like, I'm going to be in human resources. You know. It's like, why does she, but the thing is, why does somebody who has a better job than you have more value than you? It's also like they have more value than you because they're doing something better. I don't know. But I definitely want to challenge myself more to do things. And I'm trying to work on I want to work on being impulsive. Because I think I am, especially when I'm upset. I don't ever do anything to hurt anybody, I don't think, except myself. But I might say things that aren't necessary to myself. Or I don't know, like, do something I shouldn't have done. So I need to think out my thoughts. Like deleting Instagram, I thought that out. I didn't just impulsively do it. It's like one time. I wrote a post and I was like, yo, I'm going to delete Instagram. I'm betting that nobody read the whole thing, but I don't care because it was more of an explanation to myself that I can read when I get older. So I don't really care if nobody read it except my best friend, you know. But yeah. One thing you learn is that the people who say they're going to be there for you are usually lying because they think they can, but they're not. And you might be one of the people who say that to others, but you're not. You know, I learned that. I can't open up personally with everybody, so I just might as well open up with everybody, not personally, because when I do open up individually, it doesn't really have a good outcome unless it's the people that care about me and I know them, like my friends, my best friend and my sister. That's it. No, I shouldn't say that's it. That's awful to say. I have other friends definitely who contribute and help. It's just obviously not as often as them. So whatever. I'm not trying to put anybody on a scale. I'm just saying honestly, you know. Maybe it's just because I don't reach out that much. So maybe it's a little bit on my part as well. Anyways, I think I'm going to go because this video's gone on long enough. But thank you for listening. I'm just going to make videos like this probably on my channel because this is just a random, like, weird channel. I don't know, for me to post my emotions or whatever, even though this is called Writing with Ink. I just like that title, and I'm going to keep it even if it's not about writing. Yeah. Yeah, I like how my teacher, Mr. Warren, said, like, usually I post web content of usually of the educational type, when that's, like, so far from the truth. I mean, I think I have more educational videos on here than I do, like, these videos, but it's going to definitely be outnumbered soon, if not already. But I do want to make more educational videos on writing and things like that when I happen to find interesting things about writing that make me want to make a video about it. But anyways, I'm going to go. I don't know why I always do that. I'm like, even when the camera isn't on, I wave like that for some reason. But anyways, bye.